lonesome Kevin got a little off track.
All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Wednesday, Wanderlust Wednesday, here in the cave, where we throw some music at you that maybe you've never heard or you've forgotten about. What are we talking about today? We still have gas in the tank on this topic. We're going back to 1986. The summer of 86, this record came out, and it was quite a big deal. The critics loved it. Everyone loved it. Who remembers this? Who remembers the band David and David? Boomtown. Their debut record, July of 1986. David Baerwald and David Ricketts were session musicians out of LA who put this record out. Again, critics love it. I think it went platinum. There were 3 singles off this record, none more memorable than Welcome to the Boomtown. Love this song. You don't hear this one enough. That's why we're playing it here today on Wednesday. But I have great memories of this, and I just think it's good. I love his voice. I love the wit and the dry sense of humor. There's references to drugs and Denny's, and this kid took a year off from college and never went back. I mean, there's just like, I like the way the song structure is. There's just a lot to like about this song. The 2 other singles got some airplay. Swallowed by the Cracks, I think he even has a music video, and Ain't So Easy also did. This is one of those records that I would play the whole thing front to back, just because I liked the sound of his voice and I liked the music they were making. This pop infused rock, whatever you want to call it. It was very 1986. But people thought they were going to be going places. They really were high on this band, and they really found out that when they got big, it just wasn't really for them. It seems like they went over to Europe. They weren't digging into the whole thing at all, and they kind of just walked away. I mean, they were going to work on a second record, never materialized. He doesn't really talk about when they broke up, or David Baerwald, but they just stopped. After that, they did some collaborating. They're known for writing and doing some music work, composing. They both worked on Sheryl Crow's debut album, Tuesday Night Music Club. How about that? Then they split and kind of did their own thing. David Baerwald then later would put out a couple of solo albums. He put out a solo album in 1990 called Bedtime Stories, which I have here as Bedtime Stories. He put that out. I wouldn't find out about that till a little bit later. But this one has Joni Mitchell playing a little bit of guitar and backing vocals on one of the songs, Liberty Lies. And then he did the same work on one of her albums. Then later, after Bedtime Stories, he put out Triage. Here's Triage for you. This is where I come in for David Baerwald. This showed up at the record store. See the little circle there? Little circle means out of print, or that it was a sample sent to the record store for you to play. And that's what this was. David Baerwald Triage. I just threw it in the CD player, and lo and behold, I liked a lot of the stuff on here. Very eclectic, very different. And then I realized, or read about him and realized he was David of David and David. So then I loved it even more. This description of this CD goes like this: a narrative song suite about the fringe dwellers of America's paranoid and disaffected subcultures. How about that? Sounds like something that's right up my alley. He did do some writing and score work for Moulin Rouge, that song Come What May, which was nominated for a Golden Globe. So how about that? And then he put out another record, 2002. Here comes the New Folk Underground. And he even had an EP out there in somewhere like 2006, Hellbound Train. But this stuff is just, I guess it's one of those things where I like his voice and I like the music, and I think that if you listen to it, maybe some of you are going to like it. Other people will be like, yeah, that's all right, or I can picture someone else singing this song, or whatever it is. But I like this stuff. So what are we talking about for songs? We got for David and David, you got Welcome to the Boomtown, obviously. That's your song of the day right there. Swallowed by the Cracks, like I said, Ain't So Easy. Being Alone Together is a good one, and A Rock for the Forgotten. Those are all decent songs, like those. Bedtime Stories had a highlight for me. It was called Good Times. And then, of course, off of the song The Waiter, off of Triage, is the one that really caught my eye. This one is super different, super weird, like just a really different beginning. And I love the beat of it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of One Night in Bangkok by Murray Head, just a little bit. But The Waiter, that is a song that is one that I just really, really enjoy. A couple others on there, The Postman and the Got No Shotgun Hydration Blues. I don't know how can you even sing that as a song, but he manages to do it because it's a narrative singing of songs. We had the Here Comes the Folk Underground. I think I might be one of the only people with all of those CDs. Who knows? Maybe I am. I suspect I am. But that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the band David and David and then David Baerwald here on Wanderlust Wednesday. David Baerwald, I don't know if you're out there, but I'll try to tag you on the usual lines. Let's hear from you, but appreciate the music. And, one other thing that I read was the David and David were one of the groups of the many who lost their master tapes in the 2008 Universal fire. And for those of you who weren't paying attention, in 2008, Universal had a fire that was started by someone using a blowtorch on construction. And among other things, studio-wise, they lost 175,000 master tapes from some of the biggest artists in the world. Anyone that was on Universal. I mean, we're talking White Snake. I mean, I can't go through the list. I think Tom Petty's in there. It's just Elton John. If you pull up the list, it's dozens and dozens and dozens of the most famous people lost their master tapes in this fire. Tragic, totally tragic. Anyway, that's the side story. So, David and David, welcome to the Boomtown. Do you remember this song? Anyone? Comment below. Listen to some of the stuff I post. See what you think. Enjoy it, whatever you're doing. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.